What is your favorite chapter? What are the favorite principles out of the complete book?
So see, sexual energy is a very natural energy, which is a God-given ability which everyone has got it. सबके पास
Yes.
है. But most people don't know how to channelize that energy in the right direction. Always left brain होता है कि क्यों करना, who is Napoleon Hill, and why should I follow these principles, etc., etc.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of this special interview. So today we have Sidharth Shah, and he is the founder of Think and Grow Rich Academy based in India, which is one of the Napoleon Hill Foundation specific in India. So I would like to invite you, Sidharth, for this special interview.
Thank you.
And I've seen a lot of the things that we made last mastermind, and you talk about legacy, which inspired me most. I want to know your journey of starting out this specific academy for India to help Indian people. And please tell us your journey, how you got started, and what inspired you to start this academy.
First of all, grateful to you to have me over here and with your community and having me over here on YouTube also. Thank you, Sagar, for this opportunity. Yes, it is a very interesting journey, and starting was there in 2016, where I was having a challenge in my life. I had to press the reset button and really start afresh. And at that time, I've been reading Think and Grow Rich for many, many years before that also, but still was not able to understand and apply these principles of success. So I thought, let me really go to the source, the core, the base, the foundation, to my US company, the Napoleon Hill Foundation, and learn these principles directly from there. Because I was in a situation where I had to take a call and burn the bridges. So I took that call, and that's where it started the journey. Because these principles have really been very close to me in my life. So I thought, let me just go directly from where it is all started, so I can come and then get the principles learned. I can apply it in my life, and I can also pass it on to my fellow Indians. So that was the entire starting point.
Great. If you could just share, what are the top results that you got from your applying these principles in your life, in your business?
So I'm truly blessed and honored that since after we got the license for India from the Napoleon Hill Foundation as the sole licensee for India to coach on Think and Grow Rich, that honored and privileged that I have impacted hundreds and thousands of Indians who are part of my community right now. And that has not only helped me to become financially free, but also given me a chance to do what I love to do, to coach and train and make a real difference in people's lives. So that has been the greatest impact of doing something, living your purpose of your life. That's most important. Second, when I was in the age of 40 in 2016, where I was in my situation, the kind of state of mind I had, my relationships, my health. And now when I compare that situation today, I think every area of my life has made a real great improvement. And I think I'm very proud to say that it's not just me, but it's an environment which starts to change once you live these principles. And the biggest part is about my son, Agastya Shah.
Yes.
He got these principles when I was doing the webinars and seminars, and the way he has progressed and moved forward. I think that's one of the biggest results which we have created from these principles of success applying.
So how we call it, charity begins at home. So you exactly started implementing from your home. That is the biggest true testimonial for your principles. Yeah. So you're teaching him, or he's subconsciously listening to his lectures or trainings?
It's a good question. So at this age right now, he's 20. So we started this journey in 2017-18. Lockdown happened and we were at home. In 2020, he was about 17 years old. So 17-year-old boy and a father teaching Think and Grow Rich, it is never going to go directly. Nobody is going to think, why Sidharth Shah Think and Grow Rich? Nobody's going to do that. All teenagers have got their own mindset. But as God would have it, what would happen that during the lockdown, I launched my L1. I'm talking a language which coaches and trainers understand. Okay, so
Yes.
I launched my L1, and I sold about 250 tickets at 10,000, 25 lakhs in the account. Across India, people bought it. And I didn't have a single video at that moment. So, and I had promised I'll be giving some video courses also with my program. And I shot the videos sitting at home. But complete lockdown, May 2020, whom to edit? I mean, where will we go to edit the videos? So I learned some things from my mentor, Sidharth Shah, that how to edit the video. And then I told my son, Agastya, just sit with me and see how am I editing a couple of videos. You have to do the best, the balanced videos you have to do on your own. So he said, Papa, okay, I'll do it. I've got some free time. And as you understand, when you edit a video, you learn these principles. It goes back and forth, you cut and paste, and that's where it starts to come in your conscious, subconscious mind. So he got the entire curriculum of my L1 of Think and Grow Rich. Not only that, me doing 2 or 3 live webinars at that moment in lockdown, subconsciously he was listening. Papa is in the room and Papa is talking the same thing again and again. Strangest secret, he was listening loudly. So all of these principles subconsciously went into his mind. And I think that has really created a big impact at that young age, where he's got the principles and he's got one of the great lessons how he can become successful in life. So
Yes.
it's
Now
subconscious one. It's not
the
planned.
people
It's
know how
subconscious.
successful he is right now. He's like killing in social media space.
Yes.
So how many times you have read this book? Like still you must be reading this book. Like just
Yeah.
wanted to guess like for the numbers. Do you have any numbers in your head?
So I'll tell you what. Let me show something to you. This is the edition of Think and Grow Rich, which I read.
Yes.
And I'm blessed that it is an autograph copy which I got from my US company, which is personally signed by Napoleon Hill.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a
This
collected
is
edition, and I study. I don't say I read, but I study from these principles every single day. Every single day since last 7 years, I'm doing this, and I'm never going to stop this, because you just can't read this book. You got to study, savor it, and really apply it and execute and come back. And to give you a context, Sagar, that not just me, but we have got these book reading clubs. Most people don't read books now, but we make them read Think and Grow Rich. I summarize the chapter by removing some dated examples to have a concise summary of every chapter. And we have people reading Think and Grow Rich 21 times. The same chapter again and again and again and again and again, 21 times. And I've seen people, those IIT and IIM guys, they're saying, Siddharth, why? It's ridiculous to read the same chapter 21 times. But once they get the benefit that we start to live these principles, they impact at a deeper level, then they see the results and see it's a crazy thing which we do, but we get crazy results also.
amazing, amazing. 21 times, like great. So what are the duration they read for this 21 times for one chapter?
So
For 21 days?
typically, yeah. So it's like this. We have different timings of book reading clubs. Morning 4:15 Brahma Muhurat se start hota hai. 5:15, 6:30.
Wow.
Then we have, if you're not a morning person, then you've got an evening batch, 9:30, 10 o'clock in the night. So there you can select different batches. And we have got 2 languages which are now very, very popular, Hindi and English. So we have got 2
Hindi.
languages running, Hindi and English. And so people come in, they have a Zoom meeting. 40-45 minutes का free Zoom meeting का link रहता है. The members in the community only share the Zoom meeting in the WhatsApp group and say, you come in and Sagar will read the first page of the chapter, which is the 21 days cycle running on. Then you'll say pass. Then say Sidharth is there. So Sidharth will read the second chapter and then I'll say pass. And the third person, and that's the way it goes around. So 20-25 minute में एक chapter complete हो जाता है, summary. And then we do declarations, we have goal cards, we declare our actions, we have buddy structure, we have gratitude. So it's a beautiful structure where it's a live interaction every day where people get the results. So that's the way it works.
Amazing. Like say that this is like amazing that you actually not just reading, you're living these principles in every single day. That is a beautiful thing that you are creating that impact. So any what is your favorite chapter? What are the favorite principles out of the complete book? One does you live every single day, like something that you like to share?
Oh, it's a tough one. Every principle is very close to my heart. But to pinpoint one principle, which I think most people misunderstand, or most people don't understand this principle even after reading the book. And it is called the mystery of sex transmutation, which is the 10th step to riches. कुछ editions में उसका नाम करिश्मा होता है. It's also titled as charisma. But originally, it is called the mystery of sex transmutation, or as the title says, it is a mystery. Most people who read the book, they just read and say, "हाँ ठीक है, मुझे समझ में आ गया," and they don't understand. And some people say, "मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आया." But that is one of the essence And Napoleon Hill was so advanced in his thinking that 1930s में जब he sex was a taboo, at that time he came out with this particular principle. And if you connect this with what our Rishi Munis, when they have Brahmacharya, Swami Vivekananda talked about this particular principle, that how you can become a genius in your industry. I think this is one principle. If people can get it, they can be a genius in their industry. They can skyrocket their sales to the next level, or they can become the kings of their industry with this one principle.
Would you like to enlighten more about that thing, like what exactly it represents when it comes to our life and business or anything that, yeah.
So see, sexual energy is a very natural energy, which is a God-given ability which everyone has gotten. Sabke paas hai. But most people don't know how to channelize that energy in the right direction. I mean, as youngsters, we just channelize through our physical expression of that energy. Well, that's good. That's one way of having it. But when we progress, as we get the wisdom of how we can channelize this energy, and you can use the chakras and different ways how we can enlighten and bring it to our pineal glands, that energy, and then we release that energy with the visualization of a particular goal which you want to have. I think that's where the magic starts to happen. So I think it's more about experiencing this principle of sex transmutation. And once you get an experience of this, that means you have got one nas pakad lete hain aapke, haan, this is working for me. And then you start to multiply and start to get the results. I think it's a beautiful combination. Love, sex और romance का इतना beautiful combination बताया है नेपोलियन हिल ने कि आपकी जो faith है वो एक next level पे पहुंचती है, where you can connect with infinite intelligence, God, superpower, जिससे भी आप connect कर सकते हो using these three powerful emotions, and the channel is sex transmutation.
Amazing. Thank you, Sidharth, for sharing. And can you tell what are the other misconceptions? You talk about this one, and what are the other misconceptions people have while reading this Think and Grow Rich? I'd like to know more about it. You have some.
Yeah, and it's a very powerful question, very, very relevant question. See, for most people who say, look at Think and Grow Rich. So, Think and Grow Rich, पहला तो क्या सोचो और अमीर बनो.
अमीर बनो, हाँ.
ये possible नहीं है यार. Nobody can think and grow rich. So first thing is कि उनकी belief ही नहीं बैठती कि क्या है यार, I mean this is bogus, this is Ponzi scheme, this is just a new kind of a thing, कुछ होने वाला नहीं है. So they don't understand the concept of think and grow rich the way it is meant to be understood. Or if maybe people who have read the book can understand that Napoleon Hill says that when you are ready, you will get the secret of think and grow rich. उसने explicitly बोला नहीं कि ये secret है, but when you are ready, you will get the secret. And I was like searching for the secret when I was reading the book before I went to the US. But when I went to the US, I studied in detail. That's where I discovered the secret. So I'll give you a context. Misconception ये है कि लोग सोचते हैं कि सिर्फ सोचो, thinking करो और पैसा आ जाएगा. Visualization करो, affirmations करो, and have those vision boards and goal cards, etc. और पैसा आ जाएगा. That's important. वो करना बहुत जरूरी है. But it is all the more important to take massive, consistent actions along with that, all those rituals to get the results. और इसका proof ऐसे है that the word think in the entire book is repeated 56 times, whereas the word action in the entire book is repeated 89 times.
Wow.
तो लोगों को वो समझ भी नहीं आता कि सोचो and पैसा आ जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं है. वो कंसिस्टेंटली परसिस्टेंटली आपको एक्शन लेनी है, मैसिव एक्शन लेनी है, तो ही वो रिजल्ट्स आएंगे. सो दिस इज वन बिग कंसेप्शन. पीपल से कि आई विल जस्ट थिंक एंड आई विल गेट रिच. दैट्स वन कंसेप्शन. इफ यू अलाउ मी, आई कैन शेयर द सेकंड आल्सो.
Yeah, please.
The second misconception people have, that they equate the law of attraction with think and grow rich. I mean, I've seen people because law of attraction, after the movie The Secret बहुत famous हो गया. Rhonda Byrne's beautiful movie and beautiful book. So it has become very, very famous. And they say that, okay, think and grow rich or law of attraction same hai. Galat jawab. Law of attraction is a part of think and grow rich. It is a small part of think and grow rich, which Napoleon Hill talks about in one of the chapters. But there are very, very powerful principles like mastermind, like decision. Yeah, like decision making. जैसे मैंने sex transmutation बताया, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया persistence. तो इतने सारे अलग अलग प्रिंसिपल्स हैं जो people forget and they just equate, हाँ, I know law of attraction, ask, believe, receive, I know think and grow rich. So बहुत बड़ा misconception है. It is much more bigger picture than that.
This is a very powerful thing. When it comes to mastermind principle that we talk about, Yes, the action something that we need to take, not just, even I was supposed to ask this question like about this law of attractions, how it is related to this think and grow rich. You suddenly point that like it is a part of that think and grow rich principle. So
Yes.
you also follow this law of attractions principles. Like, is there any specific a topic about like that you teach for when it comes to think and grow rich principle?
Yes. So, law of attraction is one of the natural laws. जो
Mm-hmm.
नेचुरल लॉज ऐसे हैं जो कभी उनकी मिस्टेक नहीं होगी. दे कैन नेवर गो रॉन्ग. तो थिंक एंड ग्रो रिच प्रिंसिपल्स क्यों काम करते हैं? बिकॉज दे आर बेस्ड ऑन नेचुरल लॉज. और वन ऑफ द नेचुरल लॉज विच वी फॉलो, विच आई फॉलो, इज लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन. इट इज अ लॉ, डेफिनेटली इट्स अ लॉ. बट लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन को अगर आपको हमेशा काम कराना है आपके लिए, तो आपको उसके साथ के जो बाकी नेचुरल लॉज है उसको भी डिटेल में समझना होगा. जैसे लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन सेकेंडरी लॉ है, लॉ ऑफ वाइब्रेशन प्राइमरी लॉ है. जो लोग नहीं समझते, वाइब्रेशन इज द प्राइमरी लॉ. फिर लॉ ऑफ कॉज एंड इफेक्ट, लॉ ऑफ करस्पॉन्डेंस, लॉ ऑफ हार्मोनियस रिदम, ऐसे अलग अलग लॉ, लॉ ऑफ जेंडर, ये सारे नेचुरल लॉज है. तो जितना आप उनको डिटेल में समझेंगे, लॉ ऑफ इंक्रीज, तो जितना उनको डिटेल में समझेंगे, उसके साथ में अगर आपने लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन को अप्लाई किया तो आपके रिजल्ट्स 10x होंगे. बट जस्ट लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन पे आप फोकस करेंगे, लाइक अट्रैक्ट्स लाइक, लाइक अट्रैक्ट्स लाइक, आई थिंक दैट्स वेयर पीपल आर नॉट एबल टू गेट द रिजल्ट. सो इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ अ पैकेज you got to understand.
Great. So when it comes to like Siddha, like applying these principles like think and grow rich, what are the like common challenges that people face? I think people face challenges and they give up. So if you'd like to enlighten more about the common challenges that
Yes.
maybe you might face, maybe your student might have faced.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think most people know all this at an
Yeah.
intellectual level. They know that I have to do the rituals, I have to do the gratitude, मुझे vision board करना है, मुझे action लेनी है. They know all that at an intellectual level. But कहाँ पे miss out होता है is that maybe their willpower. They say from tomorrow I'll do it. The willpower is not powerful. I've realized one thing, Sagar, that our willpower can never help us. Willpower बहुत जरूरी है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, हायर फैकल्टी हमारी. बट आवर विल पावर इज ओनली लिटिल बिट, थोड़ा ही रहता है. हमारा विल पावर बहुत शैलो होता है. तो मैंने सीखा है कि योर एनवायरमेंट इज मच मोर पावरफुल देन योर विल पावर. कि जो एनवायरमेंट होती है दैट इज वेरी मच मोर इंपॉर्टेंट पावरफुल देन योर विल पावर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लोग बोलते हैं कि चलो मैं सागर के पास नहीं आऊंगा, कल से मैं फेसबुक ग्रुप बना दूंगा और कल से मैं ऑर्गेनिक लीड्स चालू कर दूंगा, अपने आप कर दूंगा, 2 4 6 दिन, एंड देन यू आर बैक टू स्क्वायर वन. बिकॉज विल पावर नहीं होता. बट इफ यू हैव एन एनवायरमेंट ऑफ पीपल अराउंड यू, लाइक सागर्स विल बी हैविंग सम काइंड ऑफ अ टूल्स, सम इनर सर्कल कॉल्स, वीकली कॉल्स रहेंगे, तो उस एनवायरमेंट में लोगों को देखेंगे, उस एनवायरमेंट में लोग रिजल्ट्स लेते हैं. So most people rely on their willpower कि हाँ मैं कर दूंगा, and it doesn't work because willpower will never help you. वो willpower fatigue जैसा होता है. Environment is much important and powerful in that.
I think that's why that you have created the group system, group learning. I think the group energy works a very powerful way.
Yes.
Maybe that is the one thing even I like we learned about the building the communities. Also, we inspired from others that how they are taking actions. But even after like Siddha, like people taking action, they consistently do it. Maybe 2 months, 3 months, they're applying all the principles. Even if they are taking actions, what if that one still there is people face that I'm not getting results?
Yes.
How to like overcome that challenge, that mindset?
Yes. So one thing is that maybe if your actions, you are taking actions, you are very much sincere, you are ambitious, you are following all the rituals, you are coming for the entire meetings, etc. But still, for whatever reasons, the results are not coming in. Well, that is possible, and I've seen people who are struggling for a very, very long time, and they are very, very sincere, but they are not able to get those results. So generally, I have to tell you a couple of things in this, that don't change the goal, change the plan. Perhaps what action which you are taking are not giving you the results. So you change the plan, but don't change the goal. So for changing the plan, what you require is a feedback from your mastermind. A mastermind who's going to tell you objectively, if this is not working, maybe try something else. So that kind of a feedback, because most people, when they keep on trying something on their own, they say, oh, I have tried everything. And when I ask them, have you tried everything? Everything? I mean, did you try? No, I tried 10,000 times. Oh, did you try 10,000 times? It is the same thing they do again and again, and they say it's not working. दो चार छह चीज वही रिपीट करते रहेंगे 100 times कर दिया and they say it's never going to work. I think changing the plan is very, very important at that time. And I've got a couple of tips for people who are struggling and not getting the results. There is this chapter of Think and Grow Rich, which is called as persistence. Persistence is the 8th step to riches. So I've got a beautiful podcast on that on Apple, Spotify, Google. I've also got it on my YouTube channel. If you listen to that podcast every single day for the next 30 days, same podcast again and again and again, you are never going to give up. I mean, the Napoleon Hill has entirely given this entire chapter. It's so powerful that you'll get that vigor never to give up. So I would highly recommend that you read this chapter again and again, or listen to the podcast, whichever way it suits you, every single day for the next 30 days. And you'll never give up on your goals and the results.
I'll definitely add that link to the description. So those who would like to check it out after watching this, you can check this thing. And like when it comes to like the Think and Grow Rich, we're talking about getting results in the business or careers. What are the other areas that we can implement in Think and Grow Rich?
Yeah. So basic results are money in the bank. The core is money in the bank. I mean, it's not positive thinking and motivation, but real results, money in the bank. That's what we promise. But as Napoleon Hill says, the golden line of Napoleon Hill, this must have heard for sure. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve, right? Yeah. So it's not mentioned only the money in the bank. It's not mentioned about only the health or the career or the job. It's whatever the mind, जो भी आपके mind में conceive किया. So conception happens in your conscious mind. Whatever the mind can conceive and belief happens in your subconscious mind. The belief and the faith is an emotion which impacts your subconscious mind. So whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. So achieve को break करना है, and we call it as act-achieve. Action leads to achievement. It is act-achieve. It is not just achieve, it is act-achieve. That's where the title of my book, which I mentioned, is Think, Believe, Act, Achieve. Because only when you take actions, you're going to achieve those results. Otherwise, it's just going to be a thought process. So I think whatever is possible, whatever you want is possible.
Great. So do you have any case studies for like people achieved something apart from the money goals? You would like to share some case studies? Yeah, please.
So, of course, you can go on our YouTube channel and there are more than 100 format testimonials of people from a variety of backgrounds who have got different types of results. And to highlight on something which is apart from a dream job or a dream home manifested, or maybe having the money in the bank, turnover multiplied, etc. वो सब तो बहुत common है. But I feel that when a person who is about to die, suicidal kind of symptoms, depression, and जिंदा रहने की कोई ख्वाहिश ही नहीं है, और उसको आप एक celebration mode पे लेके आ जाओ कि I want to live my life to the fullest. I think इससे better satisfaction है ही नहीं life में. I mean, a person who is just given up on life, और उसको बोले कि नहीं मुझे जीना है, मुझे 100 साल तक जीना है. I think that's the key thing which I find benefit. बाकी तो बहुत सारे cases हैं, but the kind of potential which every person has got, that's where I think is the most satisfaction. कि हाँ यार, बाकी रिजल्ट्स बहुत आए, स्टूडेंट्स को रिजल्ट्स आए हैं, किसी को पीएचडी किसको करना था वो कर लिया, किसी को डॉक्टरेट करना है, किसी का मेडिकल इशू था, क्रोनिक डिजीज थी, तो बहुत सारे केसेस ऐसे सॉल्व हुए हैं, कैंसर एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. बट आई थिंक it's your potential. हम जो चाहे कर सकते हैं, but when you just have the right mindset, we are in the right state of mind, and we are blessed to have all of you over here, where we are giving these kind of concepts to people and they make their lives better.
Amazing. This is actually the true impact that you are creating. And yes, like coming out of from like completely suicidal thoughts to living these things. What are that process you call? Like, do you just talk and maybe just listening to you, they overcome that problem? Or do you have any steps or maybe any affirmation, or what are exactly those?
Yeah, there are different methods. One is the continuous handholding and support which we give. So, I mean, just giving a username and password is not going to get you outside the depression, right? So, exactly. This is not an online course. So, weekly inner circle calls is one thing. Then if they go to a higher level program, then it's more deeper, intense, hot seat, one-to-one kind of a thing where we really look at the kind of patterns, the belief systems, etc. What is the past experiences which are getting those emotions coming in? So we really look at the root cause analysis of that. Then even if I'm not involved, the group which they go, the ABCD group where we read 21 times the chapter of Think and Grow Rich, that also helps them, because over there everybody is inspired, everybody is helping each other. Then the buddy structure. So there are a variety of points where there are different points where every person is getting some hand holding, some support. और हम तो ऐसे बोलते हैं कि जब भी पूरी दुनिया आपका साथ छोड़ देगी, जब भी कोई भी आपको ट्रस्ट नहीं करेगा, फादर मदर पेरेंट्स बॉस कोई ट्रस्ट नहीं करेगा, तभी हमारी कम्युनिटी आपको सपोर्ट करेगी, हम आपके साथ में खड़े हैं, हाथ से हाथ मिलाएंगे, आपको आगे बढ़ाएंगे. और इसीलिए लोग जुड़ते हैं, because they kind get this environment where they get inspired and they take the results. So it's a process, but I think everything, it's not just Sidharth Shah, but it's the entire community power.
Community, the group energy that actually helps. Amazing. Let's talk about something that like some key problems and challenges that I have I've gone through for myself, and I've seen a lot of people gone through. So when it comes to like procrastination, even people know they need to do it. How to overcome that challenge? One of the biggest problems that I have seen, like even though I know this is the right thing, but still procrastination one thing, another one thing is a fear of not doing. Maybe if I post a content, if I may be given if I give an offer to someone, but they will think about it. A lot of fears are there. So how to overcome those challenges? Let's start with procrastination, and
It's procrastination is a deadly disease, and everyone has to conquer that disease. So I learned from one of my mentors, Brian Tracy, told me that procrastination के 3 main reasons होते हैं. There are 3 main reasons why a person procrastinates. Number 1 is getting overwhelmed. कि बहुत बड़ा काम करना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल बुक लिखनी है, अरे बाप रे बुक लिखनी है, अरे इतने पेजेस भरने पड़ेंगे, 300-400 पेज लिखने पड़ेंगे, फिर उसके एडिट होगा, चैप्टर बनाना पड़ेगा, टाइटल, पब्लिशिंग, फिर अमेजॉन एटसेट्रा, छोड़ नहीं लिखना है. सो दे गेट ओवरवेल्म्ड. मैराथन भागनी है, नहीं भागना है, सो दे जस्ट गेट ओवरवेल्म्ड. दैट्स द फर्स्ट रीजन. द सेकंड रीजन ऑफ प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन is the fear, as you rightly mentioned. Fear of what will happen if I take that action. What will be the fear? Why, if I take this action, क्या होगा? It's like fear of loss of money, fear of rejection, fear of criticism, fear of ill. बहुत अलग-अलग reasons होते हैं हमारे, and that really stops us from taking that action. And the third is lack of clarity, that what's in it for me. अगर वो clarity नहीं है कि ये action में लूंगा तो मुझे क्या result मिलने वाले हैं, क्या benefit मिलने वाली है, जब तक वो clarity नहीं है, तब तक people don't take actions. So these are the top 3 reasons which I learned from Brian Tracy for why people procrastinate. And in the context of how we coach them, we give them the understanding that we procrastinate. That means our body is not taking action. हमारे conscious mind में thought है कि मुझे action लेना है, लेकिन हम action नहीं ले पा रहे. तो उसके लिए एक structure हम देते हैं कि आपका mind और body का क्या connection है, और बीच में आपके subconscious mind से आप कैसे वो fear को तोड़ेंगे, तो ही आप एक्शन ले पाएंगे. तो देयर इज अ प्रोसेस व्हिच वी फॉलो, एंड वंस वी आर देयर दैट वी नो वी गॉट टू टेक एक्शन, हम करेज जनरेट करते हैं, वी डेवलप द इमोशन ऑफ फेथ, एंड दैट्स वेयर वी स्टार्ट टू टेक एक्शन. इट्स अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन, बट आई थिंक एज वी अंडरस्टैंड द पावर ऑफ थिंक एंड ग्रो रिच. और एक टिप देता हूं यहाँ पे, कनेक्टिंग टू थिंक एंड ग्रो रिच ओनली. डिसीजन इज वन ऑफ द थिंग्स which can help you to conquer procrastination. For example, should I call that client? Should I not call the client? Because you are not able to take a decision, you are not calling the client, right? So how to improvise on decisions? There is a 7th step to riches in Think and Grow Rich. Read the same chapter or listen to the same chapter again and again and again and again and again, and you become a decision maker and you will not procrastinate. So that also helps.
I think like the repetition is the master to success, what I can see, like since 21 times, then again, like reading that chapter. And this concept, something I never heard about, like reading 21 times. I've heard about that. Okay, read this book multiple times to get more about it. But how, when you talk about this 21 times, okay, this is something like I need to work on. Yes.
And people are very busy now. So what I've done, that there are some examples, with due respect to Napoleon Hill, 1937 में बुक लिखी है, तो कुछ examples अभी relevant नहीं है 21st century में. और अभी चैट जीपीटी का जमाना आया है, T20 का जमाना है, people are not in test matches, तो उनको फटाफट फास्ट रिजल्ट्स चाहिए. तो मैंने क्या किया है, मैंने हर एक चैप्टर की एक कंसाइज समरी बना दी है, so that people will only get the essence of the entire chapter and they will not read anything which is irrelevant in terms of examples. तो उनका टाइम भी बचता है and they get the core of the entire chapter.
So do you have any resources available? And
Yeah,
that
so
is
I can
something.
share the link of every chapter which you want. I can do it. It's there on my YouTube channel also.
Okay,
तो
sure,
वो
sure.
इस सेपरेट एसेंस ही मैंने इतना आपको पढ़ना है, दैट्स इट. तो समझो 30 मिनट्स लगते थे नॉर्मल चैप्टर को पढ़ने के लिए, ये आपका 10 से 15 मिनट में आपने पूरा कवर कर लिया
पूरा
समझ.
पूरा कवर कर लिया. Great. So do you also say like read for one chapter then implement, or like first completely read the whole book then
No,
go and how do you?
implemented. I think implemented. I'll tell you why. ये
Yeah.
13 steps जो है वो ऐसा कोई chronological order, ऐसा उसका सीक्वेंस नहीं है. What you can do is first you got to know कि मुझे क्या चाहिए, कितना पैसा कमाना है, कि कितने लोगों को इम्पैक्ट करना है, and then all these pieces fit together as a jigsaw puzzle. तो सारे पीसेस 13 स्टेप्स को आपको साथ में इकट्ठा करना है, और तभी जब साथ में होगा तभी मास्टर की निकल जाएगी एंड यू स्टार्ट टू गेट द रिजल्ट्स. तो ऐसा नहीं कि आप 2 4 6 पूरा पुक करेंगे उसके बाद में इंप्लीमेंट करेंगे. डू इट एज सून एज पॉसिबल साइमल्टेनियसली सो दैट यू कैन स्टार्ट टू कोर्स करेक्ट एंड चेंज द एक्शंस इफ रिक्वायर्ड.
Amazing. There's one Siddharth, like one things I liked about in Think and Grow is what the principles of auto suggestions. So how does exactly that work?
आई थिंक दिस इज द थर्ड स्टेप टू रिच इज ऑटो सजेशन. एंड राइट नाउ हमारी वही चैलेंज चालू है, 2020 हम पढ़ रहे हैं अभी. सो छोटा चैप्टर है एंड इसमें द की थिंग विच इज मेंशन ओवर हियर इज ऑटो सजेशन इज सेल्फ सजेशन which we are giving a suggestion to our own self in our own voice. It is nothing but an affirmation. We have affirmation bolo, ye auto suggestion bolo, is one of the same thing. But just by knowing this on an intellectual level, people don't get the results. Only when you go at a deeper level, at an emotional level, and when you start to use the power of auto suggestion the way it is explained over here, तभी आपको results मिलते हैं. In fact, there's a beautiful line over here that Napoleon Hill says, out of these 13 steps to riches, अगर हर एक स्टेप का एक एक स्टोन आप सबको समझ के रखो, there's one stone for one step, and you have a arch forming the entire stones of this entire 13 steps. तो auto suggestion is the keystone. मेन पत्थर is auto suggestion. अगर वो हटा दिया तो पूरा वो आर्च गिर जाएगा. He mentions this. This is one of the keystones of the entire principles of Think and Grow Rich. बहुत पावरफुल प्रिंसिपल है. लास्ट लाइन बोलते हैं चैप्टर में कि आपको ये चैप्टर रोज लाउडली पढ़ना है, एवरी डे रात को सोने से पहले, और जब तक आप बिलीव नहीं कर पाओ इस प्रिंसिपल्स पे तब तक आपको कंटिन्यूसली पढ़ते रहना है. ही मेंशंस दिस, रीड दिस चैप्टर अलाउड एवरी नाइट बिफोर यू गो ऑफ टू स्लीप until you are able to understand what I am trying to tell you over here. And you know, बहुत सारी case studies है. Bruce Lee, you tell me, Oprah Winfrey, you talk of Damon John, you talk of Grant Cardone. There are so many celebrity success stories of Think and Grow Rich who have done this illogical things and got the massive success.
Amazing, Siddharth. So now you talk about success. I just like curious to know what is your definition of success in the life?
My definition, I follow my mentors, and I give credit to my mentor Earl Nightingale, who defined the best definition of success which I have ever come across. Strangest secret लोग बहुत बार सुनते हैं, सुनना ही चाहिए, मैं भी रोज सुनता हूँ, बट मैं आपको कुछ डीपर एसेंस बताऊंगा जो लोग शायद से स्ट्रेंजेस्ट सीक्रेट सुनने के बाद में भी समझ नहीं पाते हैं अबाउट द डेफिनेशन ऑफ सक्सेस. कैन आई?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
सबसे पहले सक्सेस की डेफिनेशन, द वे इट इज डिफाइंड इन द स्ट्रेंजेस्ट सीक्रेट अर्ल नाइटिंगेल. इट हैज गॉट 9 words. He says success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. This is how it is defined in Strangest Secret, and this is the way Earl Nightingale said. तो ये तो हमने सुन लिया, हम रोज सुनते हैं, बट इसको क्यों बेस्ट डेफिनेशन बताया गया है, इसको थोड़ा डिटेल में समझेंगे. I'll take 2 minutes of your time, but it's very important.
Yeah, please.
तो ये डेफिनेशन ऑफ सक्सेस में 4 कीवर्ड्स हैं which makes it the best definition of success. पहला कीवर्ड है प्रोग्रेसिव. प्रोग्रेसिव का मतलब वन स्टेप एट अ टाइम यू आर प्रोग्रेसिंग, यू आर मूविंग फॉरवर्ड इन अ पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन. आप आगे बढ़ रहे हो, देयर इज कंटिन्यूअस इंप्रूवमेंट. सो अगर आप ग्रो नहीं कर रहे हो लाइफ में, देन you are dying. There is no neutral over here. There is progress. I mean, you got a destination. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. So that's progressive. दूसरा कीवर्ड है रियलाइजेशन. रियलाइजेशन का मतलब कि जो गोल आपको चाहिए वो रियलिटी में हो रहा है। जैसे हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन, मन में है विश्वास, नॉट लाइक पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग, इट इज एक्चुअली हैपनिंग इन रियलिटी। पैसा आ रहा है अकाउंट में, वजन कम हो रहा है, इट इज एक्चुअली हैपनिंग इन रियलिटी। आप अपने 5 सेंसेस को यूज कर सकते हो, दैट इज रियलाइजेशन। द थर्ड की वर्ड इज वर्दी। वर्दी का मतलब क्या? जो गोल मुझे चाहिए, इज इट वर्दी ऑफ मी, माई टैलेंट, माई स्किल सेट्स, माई एबिलिटीज? क्या मैं मेरी पूरी जिंदगी दांव पे लगा सकता हूं फॉर दैट गोल? आई मीन, आई गिव अ वेरी डिफरेंट एग्जांपल। सी, मोस्ट पीपल वांट टू बिकम फाइनेंशियली फ्री, बहुत पैसा कमाना है, बट यू कैन बिकम फाइनेंशियली फ्री इन अ वैरायटी ऑफ वेज। लेट्स से यू कैन terrorism, let's say drug trafficking. I mean, you can earn money by doing all that stuff, but ask yourself, is it worthy of you? Perhaps not. तो वर्दी का मतलब कि क्या मैं पूरी जिंदगी दांव पे लगा सकता हूं फॉर दैट गोल? इफ यस, इट इज डेफिनेटली वर्दी। और द फाइनल कीवर्ड इज आइडियल। आइडियल का मतलब एन आइडिया with which you have fallen in love. Sagar is loving to create Facebook groups for coaches and trainers so that they can get organic leads. You love that idea. You have made your vocation into a vacation. तो जब भी आप जो आप काम करते हो उसको आप प्यार करते हो, that is where it becomes an ideal for you. See, most people are sometimes working in a job which they don't like. बॉस गाली देता है, कस्टमर्स परेशान करते, बिजनेस पसंद नहीं है. They are earning the money, but they are not happy with what they are doing. So that is not an ideal. Ideal is an idea with which you have fallen in love. तो ये 4 वर्ड्स को आप कंबाइन करते हैं, डिटेल में समझते हैं, तभी तो अर्ल नाइटिंगेल की स्ट्रेंजेस्ट सीक्रेट आप सही समझ पाएंगे, that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. और अगर ये डेफिनेशन समझते हैं आप, और अगर आपके पास एक गोल है and every day you're moving forward towards that goal, you are a success today, not after I become financially free. No, today you are successful. It is inspiring. It gives you the feeling of success in the present moment. I think this is by far the best definition of success. And if you understand in detail, you'll see, you will feel successful every moment of your life.
Yes, I think that the people that misconception about success is just getting money, just the lifestyle. I think you have given that perfect example. Amazing, Sidharth. Like, really grateful that you actually shared this thing. The way that you explained, I think I never heard about this type of definition in detail, giving that example. Yes, we are successful now.
Yes,
Thank you
we
so
are
much.
successful.
Thank you so
Everyone is
much.
successful. Yes.
Everyone who is watching also, you are all successful. Okay, great. Now, when it comes to this concept of all nightingales, like you talk about, what are the other books that you read in comes to this personal development space? I just wanted to know about what are the top books that you feel like this is more related to this specific space, and I just wanted to know. Yeah, apart from Think
I
and
read
Grow
a
Rich.
lot. So I'm a good reader, and I read a lot of books. I invest a lot in myself. I attend a lot of programs. So I've done Tony, I've done Jack, I've done Brian Tracy, I've done Earl Nightingale, I've done T. Harwaker. So I've done all of these programs, also seminars. I keep on learning and investing in myself. And I read books a lot. Books भी बहुत पढ़ता हूँ. About 50 books in a year I read. One book a week I cover. And sometimes I reread some books again and again. So I'll tell you some of my favorite books. Think and Grow Rich, of course. Everything about Napoleon Hill. You talk of law of success, the science of success. सब कुछ cover up कर दिया है. But apart from that, some new books which I really like. Atomic Habits is one book which I really admire by James Clear. Atomic Habits, I think, is the way he has given the concept of how we can create habits. And when I mix up habits with goals of Napoleon Hill, it's a brilliant context. Third, which I like, is Bob Proctor by You Are Born Rich. You are Born Rich by Bob Proctor. बहुत जबरदस्त किताब है. और उसका एक चैप्टर मेरा फेवरेट है, Let Go, Let God. बहुत जबरदस्त चैप्टर है. And the current one which I'm reading right now is again by investment banker, who advises the Prime Minister of China, who manages funds of more than $300 billion, and his name is Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio. Principles by Ray Dalio. Again, I'm revising that on how can I create some principles in my life, in my work, and I have systems set across. So I read different types of books. I also read Vipassana. I practice Vipassana every day. So my Guruji and Goenka ji, तो उनकी भी किताबें पढ़ता हूँ कि क्यों craving aversion, कैसे इससे बाहर आना, how can I have the peace of mind, and I really like be enlightened in that path of this. So I read a variety of books on a variety of topics, but these are some of my personal favorites.
So this is something like apart from Think and Grow Rich. When it comes to Napoleon Hill, what are the other books that you have read from him? Definitely he must have, because I was looking at Russell Brunson. He's now currently he's doing a lot of research about it, and he something came out of one book which nobody have ever read about that book. So I think he was also talking about some ladder of success.
Yes.
13 or 18, I think, I don't remember. But so what are the other books that you have actually researched about more
Yes.
about Napoleon Hill?
When I saw Russell Brunson's post on Insta, my better half gave me that. Sidharth, see, Russell Brunson is also like, he's a big fan of Napoleon Hill and he's doing all this. He's got this autograph copy and some archives, some old cookbooks he's got, and he's showing this kind of autograph copies and all. So I said, yeah, that's the best part, because Think and Grow Rich. See, it's about 300 pages and it's a sales letter. That means to make people read the book, he kept it in such a concise fashion. But the research which he did was much more intense, much more deeper, much more vast. And he did that research and he condensed that in his ideal first concept was the law of success. The law of success and the science of success, where he condensed all the principles. So there are 17 principles of success, and in the law of success there are 16 laws of success. और उसको उसने शॉर्ट कर ताकि लोग पढ़ पाए, बिकॉज वो 8 वॉल्यूम्स की बुक थी इतना, आई मीन दैट वाज ह्यूज and nobody could read that and nobody could comprehend. So he got an idea, let me make it in a fashion where people will be able to get it in a brief way. So he condensed this in Think and Grow Rich. But one of my personal favorites, in fact I can give you two names of Napoleon Hill, which I think everyone should read. One is Outwitting the Devil. Outwitting the Devil, where you are looking at the devil part of yourself within yourself. The more you understand your own self, the better would be your results. तो आप में जो अंदर की आवाज जो बोलती रहती है, मत कर, नहीं होगा, मर जाएंगे, etc., all the negative chatter, so that is your devil, and how you can outwit that devil and live your potential. The way he's having conversation with the devil inside you, that's brilliant. And the second is, which is Napoleon Hill's last book, which is I think hardly available now, which is, I got it from US, Think and Grow Rich with Peace of Mind. Think and Grow Rich with Peace of Mind, where he narrates his entire journey as a biography, how exactly he applied these principles, and what a way, what a journey. And the way he explains that it's ultimately, it's not about money in the bank. Oh, you will earn lots of money. I mean, millionaires बने हैं इससे, आप भी बनेंगे for sure, कोई doubt नहीं है इसमें. लेकिन जो peace of mind मिलेगा आपको, it is at a different level, which cannot be compared. Even if you earn a crore a day, it cannot be compared to that.
Great. I think that's why that you call it now. This is the ultimate success formula. This has created the most multimillionaires than any other success principle. Why do you believe that? There are a lot of other principles out there. What is that?
Yeah. So first thing first, as a CA MBA topper ranker, always left brain होता है कि क्यों करना, who is Napoleon Hill, and why should I follow these principles, etc., etc. So even I was on that skeptical zone कि क्यों मुझे follow करना. तो मैंने research किया कि क्या Napoleon Hill is putting his own thoughts and अपने खुद की ideas लगा रहे हैं. And then I said, no, it is not based on his own fiction. It is based on hardcore research, and not research for 1 or 2 years, but research for 20 years. और किसको research किया? 25,000 men. Yeah, topmost people who are like the who's of the world, who created this world. Edison, Ford, I mean, look at Andrew Carnegie, all these people. And he researched in detail, in depth. और उसके बाद में उसने research को condense करके दिया, तो मेरी belief system strong हो गई. As a numbers man, CMB, हाँ यार, now it makes sense. Because एक author आता है, जैसे मैं तो बोलता हूँ मेरे programs में, कि मैंने तो कोई formula invent नहीं किया. This is not my formula of success. जो मैंने सीखा है, as it is in its purest form, वही मैं आपको बताने वाला हूँ. जो सबके लिए चला, इतने लोगों के लिए चला है, वही आपको बताने वाला हूँ. मैंने तो सिद्धार्थ शाह को ये फॉर्मूला इन्वेंट नहीं किया है. जैसे सीखा वैसे मैं आपको बताने वाला हूँ.
You are just a messenger of that.
Just a messenger. I am just a messenger. कुछ मैंने इन्वेंट नहीं किया, nothing at all. As it is, in the shortest, fastest way, you get the result. That's my job.
If you ask to add one thing into this particular book, what would be that?
That's a good tough question. Nobody's asked me that what should I add to this? But I think where the way Napoleon Hill ends the book by quoting Ralph Waldo Emerson, that if you have made a difference in your life by reading this book, then we have met. दैट मीन्स हम भले बुक में ही हम एक मिल गए लाइफ में. So I feel that carrying forward that last statement of Napoleon Hill, I would say that if through this journey of being a messenger of Think and Grow Rich and following the world's best success formula, if I have impacted a little bit in your life, थोड़ा बहुत भी मैंने impact किया है, then I'm blessed. I can say I'm blessed. I've lived my purpose of my life. If I have made some person smile और कुछ उनकी जिंदगी में कुछ बदलाव लाया है, that means I'm blessed. I've lived my life.
If you got a chance to, last thing I would like to ask, like if you got a chance to meet Napoleon Hill right now, what would you ask?
I would first of all hug him and really, well, though I'll go down to him and really thank him for giving me this chance to be a messenger. And I would ask him that what made him say a yes in 29 seconds when Andrew Carnegie, the richest man, asked him that work with me for 20 years without any job when you are not financially free. क्या आप में था, वो क्या चीज थी आप में जिसने आपने हाँ बोला कि I will research on these principles? Because अगर वो हाँ नहीं बोलते तो ये कॉन्सेप्ट बाहर आता ही नहीं. It would have died with Andrew Carnegie, the richest man in the world. But Napoleon Hill said yes in 29 seconds कि नहीं मुझे ये रिसर्च करना है. And so what made him take that decision? That is how I'm going to ask.
Amazing, Sidharth. So would you like to enlighten any learnings that you have? We must have researched about Andrew Carnegie because it's something that you came into the picture, making the picture. So any learning you learned from Andrew Carnegie?
Yes. I mean, one of the invisible counselors which I've got is Andrew Carnegie. And I've learned his few qualities which made him the richest man, starting from a steel laborer. One of the key qualities which I learned from him, that you don't need to know everything in an industry in which you want to become the number one. So he didn't know anything about steel, manufacturing bolo, marketing bolo, but he had a group of 50 people who was a real mastermind around him. And he could get that being the richest man, number one steel maker, using the power of mastermind. So Andrew Carnegie ka mastermind principle and his concentration, that one idea, that one goal, deep down in your conscious mind, जो उसकी quality थी, I think these are the two most important qualities from Andrew Carnegie, which made him what he is right now.
Amazing. And how basically mastermind principle helped you, Sidharth, if you would like to share?
For me, my better half, mastermind.
Mastermind.
My biggest critic, always giving me feedback, this could have improved, etc., etc. My son, both the sons, mastermind. My entire community of people is a mastermind. I mean, there are facilitators in our community who don't take any money, but they are just got impacted and they serve other people. So that's a mastermind. My invisible counselors, Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale, Bob Proctor, Andrew Carnegie, a mastermind. So mastermind से तो मैं यहाँ पे आऊँ, otherwise possible ही नहीं था.
When someone is starting out like in the journey, how they can actually leverage this mastermind principle in their life? Maybe they don't know about anything.
So I think when they start off, first thing first, identify what is a mastermind, understand that, and then start with one person. Start small. Get one person who has an alignment towards your goal. आपका और उनका गोल सेम होना चाहिए. Maybe your family member, your spouse, maybe your team member, etc., etc. और फिर build करिए. 5-6 क्वालिटीज आती है मास्टरमाइंड की, उससे आप सिलेक्ट करिए. 2-4 प्रिंसिपल्स हम बताते हैं उसमें कि कैसे मास्टरमाइंड को बेस्ट करना है, कैसे परफेक्ट हार्मनी मेंटेन करनी है, और वही हम सिखाते हैं. एंड वो मास्टरमाइंड जब भी बनता है तभी आपके रिजल्ट्स मल्टीप्लाई होते हैं. That's how we start to multiply the results.
Amazing, Sidharth. So Sidharth, like you are into now teaching and coaching people. So what is your biggest why? I want to know that actually inspired you to take helping a lot of people in this teaching this principle. What is your biggest why and coaching, training people?
I think I'm been blessed of doing what I am doing, and what makes me do what I'm doing every single day, every day, morning, evening. The why is to be strong, and is mentioned, living the purpose of your life. So living the purpose is as a messenger of the greatest principles of success which has ever come across after research, and reaching to as many people, as many homes, as many families, as many corporates, as many teams, as many organizations, and making India a superpower and living every person's potential to the fullest. I think that's the great why to live for.
Great. So, Siddharth, how people can learn from you? Is there any way, any website you would like to mention, or any
Yes,
links so that I can share with them and they can
sure,
go and learn from you? Also,
sure.
they can become Think and Grow Rich.
Yes. So I think Sagar, you've been very kind. I don't want to do any sales pitch over here, but I'll just share a few links with you, which you can put it across on your on whenever this is there is the right places, and they can come in, they can experience. In fact, every day we have some free priming sessions which are there on Zoom as well as on YouTube. It's not paid at all. It's a free service which you are giving. Just come in, prime
Great.
the mindset. Every single day, free, free, free. I mean, some people can afford, some people cannot afford, some people are skeptical, they want to try. So just come and try and experience this power of Think and Grow Rich. It is not an online program, but a Zabardast powerful community which is going to help you, to serve you, to get the results for a lifetime.
Wow, this is I never knew about it. Even I may also try that one. When exactly you do? What is the timing? If you can share
So
the
every
timing
day we
session.
have a about 20-25 minute priming session. Priming is
Mm-hmm.
what I learned from my mentor Tony Robbins. Every day we prime. So we dance first, we
Okay,
change
he
our
has some 15-minute priming video in the YouTube. That is you are
yes,
talking
yeah,
about?
something similar to that.
Okay.
So what we do is we practice priming on Zoom and it's available live
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube also free. It's completely free. You need not be a paid member for this. And we start with the dancing. We change our physiology. We start with gratitude. Then we connect with our goals. We write down our goal statements in a specific way, which I explained. Then we speak out our goal statements loudly, the voice which we trust on. And then we learn something new topic which helps you to get to the results. Then we have our warrior declarations, and then we end with a 1 minute prayer or a gratitude. So in this 20-25 minutes, you are ready to conquer the next day. Every single day we do this priming session completely free.
Amazing, Siddha. I will definitely share that all the details in the description. You can go and check it out, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. I'm
Well,
really grateful that I have learned so much by just interviewing you. I hope everybody got massive value. Now, I encourage everyone to share your key learning. What are the things that you are going to take action? Like how he mentioned, like 87 times, right? 87 times, right?
yeah, 89
So it is
times.
not about 89 times. It is written in that actions. Yeah. So I recommend everyone to focus on action more, but just think and grow rich.
Yes.
And thank you everyone for watching, and thank you Siddharth once again. Really
Most,
grateful for you. Yeah.
most welcome. Thank you so much, Sagar, for having me here, and God bless. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.